Hello, today I'm going to talk about anxiety. But before I do that, I would like to introduce myself. I am Esther Obonda and I do counseling. I help people. I'm in the helping profession. So we are going to talk about anxiety. Anxiety is something that has eaten deep into human system. It devastates people if one does not deal with it as soon as it starts. How do you know you have anxiety? There are many ways. It can be heart racing, rapid heart race. It could be, it could be heat, one having intense heat. It could be one sweating. It could be somebody, your mind is here and there, not focused on something. And that is not a good sign. So as soon as somebody starts having those signs, it's good for that person to check himself or herself before that person becomes dysfunctional. So anxiety could be okay if somebody is getting a new job, you don't know what you're expecting in your new place. It could be somebody without a job, you are anxious about something. It could be somebody going to a new school, changing, having a change, because changes, either sudden or abrupt changes, can cause anxiety. And such anxieties do go away after that person is settled. But for some anxieties, it does not go away. But those anxiety that does not go away is something that person should, find a way to deal with. Now, if I bring the spiritual aspect of it, because there's a connection between spirituality and, counseling, I would say that God does not want us to be anxious about anything, but to pray about everything. And if I should bring in the clinical aspect of solving anxiety or dealing with anxiety, the person who is having that anxious feeling can do certain things. First of all, you have to identify what triggers you to be having anxiety. What is it? You need to have a quick thought towards, to find out, to identify the source of your anxiety. So it's something you trace back maybe to when you were a child, or during childhood, what went wrong, what didn't go wrong. You need to find out what it is that is really affecting your today, that is causing you anxious feelings. And if you are able to identify your trigger, you are already set to deal with your anxiety. You identify your trigger, you also find ways you can explore. There are many ways, and these are the things we do on a daily basis, but we need to be aware of those tools to have them. First of all, in my next channel, I'm going to talk about ways to deal with anxiety. But briefly today, you can look into, first of all, make sure you identify what causes your anxiety, that's a trigger, and then find a solution. One of the suggestions I'm going to make today is, self-care. How well do you care for yourself? How can you distract yourself from the moment, from the presenting problem? How can you, get on and be doing other things to take yourself away from that very moment and then do other things? That's one way to sort out anxiety and deal with it. So what are those things you love doing? How well can you take care of yourself? Is it just listening to music? That's self-care, because music is therapeutic. So you can sing along. You can even sing in your head. Let's say, for instance, you went to a supermarket, maybe Walmart, for example. Some cashiers, triggered you. How can you deal with anxiety? It triggered your anxiety. So how can you deal with it at that time? To be able to reduce your anxiety level? You can distract yourself by humming a tune you love. Maybe there's a song you love so much. You can start humming it in your head, and then that takes you away. You can do breathing exercises. You can even start thinking about your great childhood days. There are many ways to distract your attention, yourself from what is happening around you, from the person that triggered you or whatever thing that triggered you. So anxiety is something that causes dysfunction, for somebody to be dysfunctional. And the earlier you catch it, the better for you. So, first of all, if you're anxious about something and it has gone on for a long time and it's overwhelming you, it's time for you to, deal with it. And what would you do? Find out ways, and we're going to talk about these various ways to deal with anxiety. Now I've got to say thank you for listening to me, and I'm going to be dealing with anxiety and depression. These are my areas of specialties. Of course, I do other things, but anxiety and depression, these are the two evil, I would so to say, that destroys the human mind, because our mind has to be pure. Again, scripturally, I love the verse on Philippians 4:8. It talks about the principles of reducing negative thoughts. It talks about things that are pure, things that are of good report, things that are noble, things that are praiseworthy. So think on these. So if you don't think on those things that are pure, good report, praiseworthy, noble, you'll be deviating and be thinking about things that can cause you anxiety, things that will cause you to be depressed. So God has put into motion principles of good processing your thoughts, positive processing of thoughts. So I would encourage every one of you to go and check themselves if you are having symptoms of anxiety, to start dealing with it before it overwhelms you. Thank you for listening, and in my next channel I will discuss more on anxiety and we'll explore ways to deal with anxiety. Thank you. I love you so much. Bye-bye.